So yesterday, it felt like the world kind of gathered round, held hands, and celebrated because a friend who we had been missing for so long had returned. And when you're talking about some of the greatest animated movies of all time, you have to include Shrek.
Oh, yeah?
That's right, because yesterday we got a first little taste of Shrek 5 when they dropped the cast announcement teaser. I don't know if you saw it at all.
I didn't actually.
Yeah, so um it is up right now on the Universal Pictures YouTube channel. It dropped, and look, it doesn't really tell us much about the plot of the movie. It's basically a little fun skit type thing that they did for the trailer.
I see, yeah.
And it features Shrek, Donkey, Fiona, Pinocchio, and Shrek's daughter. And in the trailer at the end, because it's basically called a cast announcement, they basically announced one cast member, and it's that Shrek's daughter will be voiced by Zendaya.
Oh.
By the way, I gotta say this, since she's also in Spider-Man,
Yeah.
I kind of feel like every time Shrek's in theaters, so is Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Like, it always feels like Shrek and Spider-Man always go together. Like,
yeah.
I guess maybe it didn't. When did Shrek 1 come out? Well, that's 2001. Toby's first was 2002. But then you had Shrek 2 and Spider-Man 2 were 2004. Shrek 3 and Spider-Man 3 were 2007. Shrek 4 was going to come out with Toby's Spider-Man 4, but then Amazing Spider-Man 2 happened a year later. They did the re-release of Shrek 2 at the same time they did the re-release of the Spider-Man movies back in the theaters.
Yeah.
And now Shrek's coming in 2026. And look who's also swinging back into theaters, Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So somehow they're always connected.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I just watched the cast announcement thing. And yeah, that's just a funny little... by no means, like, is it final art or anything, but it's almost like an uncanny valley level of like, wow, Shrek is in such high definition now.
Yes. So that's actually something people have been talking about. Is a lot of people are unhappy because why wouldn't you be? Because it's the internet. A lot of people are unhappy that they updated the character designs.
Yeah. I mean, is part of it that he's supposed to look older?
Well, I mean, if you actually compare them, he looks more cartoony versus how he did in the original one. Actually, yeah, you should look it up side by side. There are a few differences besides just looking older. Like his eyes are more cartoonish round.
I see. Okay.
So yeah, so a lot of people have been complaining about that, and I just gotta say this. Now, look, I won't lie. It was a bit distracting at first when we saw that he was different. The design was different.
Yeah.
But where is it? I would just like to point out that Shrek, I think one thing we have to remember is that Shrek is a 25-year-old franchise by the time this movie comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And the last movie came out about like 15 or so years ago. So I think that's important to remember. And I would like to point out, while some people are unhappy about that, I think we have to point out, look how much this character has changed over the years.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, look, you get to, even though we think there's really two Mickey Mouse designs, the character has changed so much. They even had a time where he had eyebrows and he wore people clothes.
Yeah.
And I was trying to find a Bugs Bunny one. I'm not seeing it, but I mean, you kind of get the point of.
Yeah, definitely. Characters change over time.
Yeah, and actually, if you look at the Simpsons, even like the Simpsons designs, like the eyes are much smaller now than they were in the 90s. It's just the way it is. If you have a character who goes on for decades and decades, they're going to change over time to fit.
Yeah. And I can even see this being something where like one could prefer one design over the other,
Yeah.
but like at the end of the day, there's no obligation to keep the same design and like
And like I do
the movie
remember,
is going to speak for itself.
yeah, I do remember in Toy Story 3 they talked about they couldn't use those old files from Toy Story 2 anymore because a decade had passed.
Mm-hmm.
This will have been 15 years. So I don't even think they could open those files anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I think, and another thing that's interesting is like when something is like animation software and 3D animation is so advanced compared to back then that there is something they have to contend with, which is just like sometimes like you simply need to translate like I guess an example I could think of is like the first 3D Mario game, Mario 64, versus like Mario Odyssey. You have a lot more polygons now. So you have to design the character a little differently to translate it to extremely high definition. And so with animation software now, like if you were to just do the exact same thing again, it might not translate. It might look
Yeah.
even weirder. So you have to find some other art style and like add in details where some of the disconnect might be like noticing a detail in this new Shrek design that wasn't in the old Shrek design. And it's like, well, you had to fill out that detail because that detail couldn't exist before and now it has to.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's just one of those things. Like 25 years, he's going to change his look.
Yeah.
Although, if you know how they showed the different Shreks in the Magic Mirror?
Yeah.
The Shreks in the Magic Mirror have his original face.
Yeah, that's
So it is paying a little bit of homage to the old design.
yeah, definitely.
So
yeah.
Yeah, so I am looking forward to Shrek 5. I know it's been like 15 years, but Puss in Boots: The Last Wish shows that like they've still got it. They still know how they can make these movies. I think Zendaya is it's a cool choice for Shrek's daughter. It is interesting. My guess is that if they're only announcing Zendaya, then that because they had triplets, so that triplet is clearly going to be the one with the most screen time versus the other two.
Yeah,
Because they would have announced them then. And my one concern is if I want to compare to another 2000s animated franchise, Ice Age. Ice Age 3 was basically all about the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope that, look, it's been 15 years. We want Shrek, we want Donkey, we want Fiona. And I think the daughter could be a fun addition. Don't make this the daughter movie where Shrek and Donkey are supporting characters who don't have a lot of screen time. Like, if you're going to do something, have her be a member of Shrek and Donkey's journey like Puss in Boots was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you want to do another thing with the daughter, give her a spin-off. But like Shrek 5, let's make sure Shrek is still the main character.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a trap that a lot of these animated movies are falling into recently. I mean, particularly like the Toy Story that I will not watch.
Oh, Forky. Yeah, don't do a Forky. So, yeah, I guess that's all I have. So I guess I'll ask, where's your excitement level for Shrek 5? And have you seen the Puss in Boots movies or no?
I saw the first one ages ago, but the new really really good one that I really want to watch, I just haven't yet. I really want to. I was
so good,
so close to it a couple weeks ago. Because it's kind of near the top of my watch list. But because that looks good. Generally I would say, well, I love the Shrek movies, and I recently did a whole rewatch where I talked about finally seeing the fourth one for the first time, and I was like, oh, this is great. So yeah, ups my excitement too. Yeah. I would say this is up there, but not in like my most anticipated things, but maybe one tier below that. Very anticipated. Because Shrek's a great franchise.